I'm sure we've all been in situations where we didn't feel that it was safe to be our true, authentic selves. And if we're really honest, some people feel more comfortable being authentic than others. Now, I used to work in the corporate world and I saw so many people, women and men, basically shed every ounce of authenticity simply because they felt it was necessary to keep their jobs. And this rubbed me the wrong way. In fact, it bothered me so much that when I did leave the corporate world and decided that I was going to become a transformational coach, I named my brand Magni Essence, meaning magnify your essence. And the soul knows what the soul knows, the heart knows what it knows, and the spirit definitely knows before the mind catches up, because I just knew that this was something I wanted to support people with. And I've seen so many intelligent, talented, gifted people, especially women, bend themselves into pretzels simply so that they could fit into somebody else's conception of what was acceptable, so that they could feel like they belonged, so they could even survive or feel safe. But the more I dug into this, the more I thought about this, the more I worked with incredible women and supported them through really standing up and standing out as opposed to trying to fit in, I realized that authenticity is the casualty of conditional attachment. And so, in any relationship, if you believe that you will only be accepted under certain circumstances, you will only be accepted if you behave in a certain way that's pleasing or acceptable to the other, then you have a choice. One, you can ensure that you fit in and you do what's acceptable, or you can choose to be you and take the chance that that relationship will end. Now, if you need to bend yourself into a pretzel to fit into a box in order to be accepted, then you want to know that you're actually sacrificing parts of yourself at the altar of that relationship. Whether it's professional or personal, it doesn't matter. The moment you start bending yourself into a pretzel, shaving up parts of yourself so you can fit into some box, that's, you may actually be making up that in your mind. The person may not have asked you, but you may think, oh, that's what they want, right? Then you are actually sacrificing parts of yourself. Now, if the real you is suppressed, ask yourself, who is in the relationship that I am working so hard to preserve? Like, ask yourself, who is in this relationship I'm working so hard to preserve? Because it's not you. It's some construct that you have made up in order to get something, right? And this is not pointing fingers, this is not judging. We've all done it consciously or subconsciously. However, the question is, this thing that you believe you're getting or that you want to get, and let's say it's connection in this particular case, or love or protection, whatever, is this thing more important than who you truly are? Right? And I want to really invite you to remember that you deserve to be where you are celebrated for your true self. And the reason why this is so important is that self-expression heals, self-suppression kills, and kills emotionally, mentally, and physically. And what are the things that lead to self-suppression, right? Maybe when you were younger, you were in a situation where you were constantly criticized. Maybe you were even abused for just being your true self, right? Maybe you learned that keeping quiet was the best way to keep the peace. And if you showed up in your true self, you would be rejected, you will be criticized, or you may even have been hurt. And if these are beliefs that you have and things that you learned, then what will happen is you will try and preserve yourself. However, and this is something I've personally experienced, but you may also have if you're going around life and you are basically constantly on high alert for hurt and pain. And so instead of just relaxing and being yourself and laughing and joking and just saying everything, your brain is on 500 miles an hour, making sure that everything you say cannot be criticized or is absolutely correct, or you simply prefer to shut down, not express, so that there'll be nothing to criticize anyway. Do you see where I'm going with this? And so these are all forms of self-suppression. If you're the kind of person who truly wants to connect and connect deeply, and you just don't speak any longer because, well, it's not safe to speak, we know what happens when one speaks, then you've self-suppressed. And you may think, oh, well, that's my defense, that's me protecting myself, that's a smart way. Your reasons are your reasons and you're entitled to them. The effect remains. It will harm you emotionally, mentally, and physically because you are suppressing parts of yourself. So the real question is, how can you show up authentically without feeling incredible fear and angst? And this is the work. This is the work on learning how to regulate your nervous system, so you always know that you're okay. It's also bringing your energy and your power back in. So instead of always looking outside and thinking, what do they want? What are they going to say? What may they do? Oh my goodness, you bring it back in and you tune and tap into your essence as opposed to operating from ego. Ego is going to be asking the questions. What are they going to do? What may happen? How about the pain last time? Remember what they did. Because ego is trapped in that cycle. In fact, that cycle gives ego something to do. It makes ego important. Essence is only about this moment, this present moment. Essence understands that you are fully okay, and that actually whatever may have happened in the past will keep repeating itself if you do not, one, identify the gift, two, accept the gift, three, let it go. And so if you are a professional people pleaser, I want to say with all the compassion in the world that yes, there may be reasons why you have become like this, why you show up this way. I get it, right? And don't make the mistake of thinking that people pleasers are only people who are sort of, who do everything everyone says, right? People pleasing can take many forms. People pleasing can take the form of the person who always will be there to do extra work because they want to get the boss's attention. So the hyperachievers may also be people pleasers, although it may not show. Even controllers may be people pleasers in their own way. And so my invitation is to really look at your life and see, where am I shaving up parts of myself to fit in? Where am I bending myself into a pretzel instead of truly magnifying my essence? What are the experiences I've had that led me to start showing up in this way? And what is showing up in this way costing me? What's it costing me really? And am I prepared to continue to pay that bill? And it may be that you are prepared to pay the bill. However, answering it authentically is already key. And so if you are ready to stop bending yourself into a pretzel, ready to see and shift the reasons why you're bending yourself into a pretzel, ready to start living your authentic life as your true self, ready to reconnect with your true essence, to magnify yourself and then reveal that magnificence to the world, ready to start using your voice in a powerful way, ready to step into your power, to be a force for good in the world, ready to stop putting the fear of personal pain and personal rejection before your purpose and the difference that you were born to make in the world. When you stop people pleasing, you stop focusing on, does the person like me or do they like me? You like yourself first, and everybody else's like is extra. I would love to know what resonated with you today. I want to know those of you who are absolutely ready to stop people pleasing. And if you are one of those people who you know you have a gift, you're ready to be and do more, then I want you to reach out. Reach out and simply say, ready. My name is Bolu TV, and I work with the most incredible women. I support them in burning down all the things that are in between them and living their lives in a way that they truly celebrate. And so if you know that your life is good, but it's not great, and you know it can be great, if you're ready to become the woman who is living the life that she truly desires, then do something about it. Break out of that shell. Break free from the good girl codes. They are definitely holding you back. Love and light.